Yo, what's going on, guys? Bush back at it with another video. Been covering the Steam Winter Sale in depth, and we have yet another video here. We are going to be looking at some great deals under the price of $10. There's a lot of good stuff, and obviously, when you're opening it up to games under $10, you're talking about just an absurd amount of deals. There is no possible way you are going to cover everything in one video. Really, there's no possible way you'd cover everything in like 5 videos. There's just so much stuff that is discounted around this price range, but it also offers you an opportunity to pick up a lot of great stuff. Obviously, for a lot of you guys, as is always going to be the case, a lot of you own these games, so it is what it is as far as that's concerned, but some of you guys don't, so let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Slay the Spire, 75% off for $6.24. Slay the Spire is a game that I really didn't know what to expect when I picked it up. I saw that it was in early access, and I saw that the reception was rather strong, and it was coming out of early access when I initially played it, and I was like, you know what, let me just pick it up, and it turned out to be an absolutely phenomenal game. The marriage of a roguelike with a deck builder, at least I didn't think that was something that would work really well, but in fact, it was a home run, and now you see games like this all the time, the roguelike deck builder. And I don't know if Slay the Spire was the first one. It was certainly the first major one that I got exposed to, but the amount of depth and nuance to this game that isn't, like, apparent right off the bat is really insane, and it makes the strategy element of this game, I think, super compelling. Like, the choices you make in the various runs, I think, goes a long way, and it's just a really rewarding game to play. Now, I've been a fan of card games for a long time, so maybe that made me appreciate this game more, but the combination of it with a roguelike, I just thought worked really well. So $6.24, great price on that, definitely check that out. Next up, Halo the Master Chief Collection, I always think, is one of, if not the best buy at every Steam sale when it's available for this price. 75% off for $9.99. For this much content and great games, you're just getting such a value out of this. You're getting Halo Reach, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4. All of that for $9.99 is insanity, and whatever you want to say about the multiplayer, just getting into these games for the campaign, I think, is worthwhile. Like, you're talking about 6 campaigns, was about to say 5, but 6 campaigns with ODST. ODST, obviously a shorter game, but man, these games are absolutely classic, and I know that they're gonna remake some of the games at some point, and I believe Halo 1's getting a ground-up remake, which is great, but, you know, all of these games for $9.99 is just tremendous. And you can pick up the games standalone for $2.49 a pop. Halo 3 ODST is $124. Just get the collection at that point. $9.99 for all this stuff is so good, so definitely check that out. Next up, DJMAX Respect 5, 80% off for $9.99. Good price for DJMAX. This is a game that I played the hell out of when the world shut down. I was just like, you know, I needed a game for the good vibes, and DJMAX, I feel like, is always good vibes, and the sound selection in this game, I think, is awesome. The song selection, I should say. Now, with a music rhythm game like this, you do have an insane amount of DLC content, so if you want all the content, I mean, the complete edition is $175, which is gonna be crazy for me to say. That's actually a deep discount for all that content. It's 79% off. I know $175 sounds insane, but when you're talking licensed music and everything like that, everybody's got to get a piece of the pie. Like, I get why music rhythm games are this way, but it's still kind of insane in terms of us being cheap as hell. 80% off for $9.99 for the base game, I still think is really good, though. And the base game song selection, again, is quite good. Control Ultimate Edition, 80% off for $7.99. I love Control. I truly do believe this is Remedy's best game. I like Control better than Alan Wake 2. I think from a gameplay standpoint, it's great. I think the story, while a little bit confusing, does come together. The visuals are great, and this does include the DLC as well. $7.99 for the Control Ultimate Edition is fantastic. Excited for Control 2. Unfortunately, that's probably going to be an Epic Game Store exclusive, unless at some point I really do believe Epic is going to throw in the towel, but I think we're still a couple of years away from that, so it is what it is as far as that's concerned. $7.99 on that. Next up, Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, 90% off for $5.99. Ace Combat 7 is absolutely awesome, and for this price of $6, I mean, you cannot go wrong with it. Ace Combat is I want to say an underrated franchise, but whenever a franchise gets to Game 7, I mean, obviously, it's doing fairly well, and it has an audience. Great action flight title, super underrated soundtrack here. Never really cared for Ace Combat from a narrative standpoint, but, you know, they have that as well. So $6 for that. They do have the Top Gun Maverick edition for $15 if you do want to pick that up, but check that out. Next up, Hollow Knight, 50% off for $7.49. It seems like so many people are excited for Hollow Knight Silksong, and hey, more power to you. Hollow Knight's not a game that I got super into in the sense that I consider this to be one of my favorite games of all time. However, when a game has 341,000 Steam user reviews and 97% of those reviews are positive, when people are that excited about the follow-up title, when Hollow Knight's had the general reception that it does have, and I enjoyed the game, it's just I didn't get into it as much as a lot of other people. It's a well-done Metroidvania with an awesome art style as well, and it's one of those games that I definitely need to circle back to and give another run to, but yeah, $7.49 on that is fantastic, and a fantastic visual style as well. Shadows of the Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, is down to $7.91. If you don't have any of the Tomb Raider games, definitely check out the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. That's 94% off for $11.19. But SOTR, I feel like, is the game a lot of people are missing in their Tomb Raider collection on Steam. Most people have Tomb Raider 2013. Most people have Rise. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, is a great buy as well. I didn't think this game was narratively as strong as the other two Tomb Raider games, but from a gameplay standpoint and content standpoint, it's actually quite a step up, and the definitive edition gets you all the bonus content, which that was one of my main point of contentions with this game. Is back in 2018, even before this game came out, Square Enix had laid out like an 8-month DLC plan for this game, and it was just nonsense for a single-player narrative-driven game like this. Like, why we drop in like an 8-month DLC plan? It was ridiculous in my opinion, but nevertheless, $7 and change for that, pretty good deal. $7.91, really closer to $8. But a great buy there, definitely do check that out. Next up, a game that I will always rave about, Yakuza Like a Dragon, is 50% off for $9.99. This is a good starting point for the Yakuza franchise. Now, would it be beneficial for you to play the other games? Absolutely. If you play Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and all the way through Yakuza 6, you'll find a little bit more with Yakuza Like a Dragon. It takes place in the same world, and it carries over some stuff. However, Like a Dragon does start a new story arc, and it features a brand new main character, Ichiban Kasuga. This is his first introduction into the game, into the series, and his story arc is fantastic. He's such a likable character, and this also does adopt a different gameplay style, being a turn-based JRPG rather than your action beat-em-up game. Yakuza Like a Dragon is absolutely tremendous, and it's a game that I would recommend everyone to give a shot to. It's got comedy, it's got heartfelt moments, it's got great storytelling, the combat's really good, and a great cast of characters. For $9.99, no-brainer here. Definitely do check that out. It'll be worth your time and money, and a lot of time because the experience is quite expansive. Next up, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, 85% off for $8.99. I've talked about this game quite a lot. I enjoyed it immensely, and I had no affinity towards the Guardians. I had never watched Guardians of the Galaxy prior to playing this game, and so this was my first exposure to them. Love them as a cast, love Star-Lord, love Rocket, and the whole, synergy between them, I think, works really well. The story's pretty good. There's a little bit of comedy, and the combat I thought was enjoyable. Some people were down on it. I thought it was fairly fun. You do primarily play as Star-Lord, but overall, I thought the game was really well done. For $8.99, I think this is a great price. Definitely would recommend it. Next up, Plague Tale Innocence, 80% off for $7.99. Excellent deal for a narrative-driven adventure game. More so built on the ambiance and the atmosphere, but it does that very well. This is a game where you give it 30 to 45 minutes and it is going to absolutely hook you into the world and the story. I think they do an incredibly well job in developing that, and then they parlay that into a Plague Tale Requiem and build upon it quite nicely. For $7.99, no-brainer here, and a Plague Tale bundle if you want Requiem as well. $24.49 on that. Next up, we got Troubleshooter Abandoned Children, a tactical RPG that doesn't get a lot of attention. Great anime aesthetic art style, and, the character designs are great. If you're into tactics, strategy titles, this is going to be right up your alley for $8.24. I think it's a really good pickup, and it's one of those games that I do feel like deserves more attention. Well done. Definitely do check it out, and it's kind of interesting with this one. It has controller support, but it never saw a console release. This is a PC only title for whatever reason, but yeah, I believe there's a follow-up title in development as well, but they're saying don't expect that to come out until like 2026, so that's going to be a ways away. But Troubleshooter Abandoned Children, available for $8.24, good deal there. Next up, Streets of Rage 4, 60% off for $9.99. If you like your action beat-em-ups, this is a great one. While having a bit of a throwback vibe to it, it also updates the visual style, which I just think makes it look so good. The art direction is so great in this game, and the beat-em-up gameplay is still incredibly enjoyable. Whether you're gonna play it a solo or you're gonna play it with a couple friends, a good time to be had with Streets of Rage 4, 60% off for $9.99 on that. Next up, a visual novel that I absolutely loved, AI The Somnium Files, 85% off for $5.99. A great mystery detective visual novel with a lot of great twists and turns, done by Spike Chunsoft, with a great main character in Kaname Date. Just an excellent game from a story standpoint, and again, a really compelling main character. You can get the AI The Somnium Files bundle, which will include the first and second game. The second game is Nirvana Initiative, which came out back in 2022 and was fairly well received as well. Not as good as Somnium Files, but I thought they were both good games, and definitely do check out Somnium Files. And I think AI Somnium Files, if you want to get into visual novels, not a bad one to start off with. Pillars of Eternity, it is 75% off for $7.49. Really good throwback RPG here. Great writing, the gameplay is really good. Might not be for everyone in terms of, you know, the visuals and the style of game that it is, being a little slower paced, but overall I think you'll enjoy it quite a bit. It's Obsidian, you know they're gonna drop a banger, and Avowed is coming out, so not a bad time to play Pillars of Eternity for sure. Next up, we got Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, 60% off for $7.99. Another visual novel that I think is absolutely fantastic. Soundtrack is awesome, and this is one of those games, give it 45 minutes to an hour, and it will absolutely hook you. This is actually really the first visual novel that I ever got super into, and it was on the PlayStation Vita, and I played it on there, and loved this game. Just from a story standpoint, it is excellent. The soundtrack is great. Listen to, like, one of the tracks, New World Order. Oh, that track is awesome. And the story from start to finish, just a lot of twists and turns. Really well done. And how things in the beginning of the game, you know, parlay into the end of the game. It's just so brilliantly woven together. $7.99 for it, I think, is great. Definitely do check it out. Max Payne 3, 70% off for $5.99. Really good game, like the bullet time mechanics, and visually, this game was stunning back in 2012. Obviously doesn't, you know, have the visual prowess that it did back then, but it still looks quite good. I think for $6 is a great pickup. Definitely would recommend that, so definitely do check that out. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $10 as a part of this sale. Links to all of these in the description box below. As always, thanks for watching our coverage of the sale, and it will continue until the end. That'll do it for me. All of your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.